I literally have 3 or 4 more deals that are going to close this month.
So we're also getting into buying some of our own properties, rentals and things of that nature. So
we're each looking to close 5 or 6 deals right now, a month each.
Oh, every month. Yeah. Yep.
And I think that's realistic.
There are just too many commercial loan brokers that don't have a damn clue of what they're doing. All we're trying to do here is better the industry for everybody. At the end of the day, you can make great money in this industry, but in the end, it's all about helping people. You know, people always say, Kris, how can I be a successful broker? It's 2 words, hard work and dedication. If you don't like talking to people, you probably shouldn't be in this business. Hey, everybody, welcome back to Entrepreneurs in Finance, where we explore the daily lives of graduates and everybody else in between. And this is I always say it's a unique episode, but this is kind of I'd say a first time episode where I get to interview a group of wonderful graduates that attended about 5-6 months ago. So if those of you that are religious about watching these podcasts, which we know about a couple thousand people are, I had interviewed Jared and Bill about 5-6 months ago on another first ever podcast where we took graduates that just graduated our program. They literally just finished up, and literally 20 minutes later, we got them on a podcast to talk about their recent experience. So you can catch that episode. Joe, do you happen to know what episode that is? It's somewhere in there. So try to catch that episode of last year. I know it was last year, about 5-6 months ago. And here we are just revisiting them again on month 5 or 6 of how their business is doing. So with all that being said, let me properly introduce Jared Klock and Bill Canny of Masters Commercial Capital Group. Hey, guys.
How you doing?
Hi, Kris.
How are you? How is everything?
Good.
Last I saw you guys, you were in studio / conference room here, and you guys were just kind of like, worn out because you went through, 9 days of training, was it? Because you guys legacy or platinum?
Well, we're legacy, but we did the initial training online, and then we went up there for the extra training.
Yes.
Marketing enhancement.
Yeah. Marketing enhancement. Yes. So, you guys look good now that, you're out 5-6 months. Tell me, I think everybody's interested in kind of how your journey's been in the last 5 fast months. I bet you it's been quick for you. Everything's been rolling.
Yeah, it's been interesting. We've putting some deals together. We've got a lot of stuff in the hopper that we're hoping to close relatively shortly. It's just like any other time you're starting a new business. It's a grind, but you got to just keep moving forward,
Yeah. How about for you, Bill?
It's probably been the fastest 7-8 months I've ever had in a year. But it's been really exciting. Only because, when we started in May, we really started getting rolling in August when the main cogs were kind of moving. And it's been great. One of the things that we knew we had to do in order to succeed was get out there and start meeting people and letting people know what we were doing. So networking became a very big part of what we did. So we joined a lot of the Chamber of Commerce's in our area. I reached out. So the marketing campaign, being a legacy, afforded us the opportunity to get a really good LinkedIn account, set up Facebook. And I got to tell you, our first deal. So Jared closed his first deal through a contact that was set up through our LinkedIn account. It was a real estate agent in the same city that we're in, West Hartford, Connecticut. So literally, it was a response that went out that was made through your marketing department. Hey, listen, I noticed, we noticed your credentials. It would be great to connect. And lo and behold, like this real estate agent, very well successful real estate agent, said, yeah, let's set up a phone call. Literally called him that day, and it led to our first deal. It was a cash out refi, right, Jared? Cash out refi.
Yes. Yeah, cash out refi, 6 families, so 18 units, and then this guy's also. I've been working on other deals with him going forward. I got one actually just called me on 5 minutes ago.
So let me remind everybody what that is, because guys, we have a lot of viewership now, a lot in our universe, 3,000 people or so that actually, when these come out, it's like Christmas to them. They wait to hear them. We got a lot of downloads through all the various platforms. So let me just explain to people what they're talking about is we have a LinkedIn package. I think it's one of my companies, a marketing firm, the only company I believe that does this, where we literally take over your LinkedIn profile. It's included in the Platinum and Legacy package, where we have a team here that goes out and literally networks in your community for you while you're out there doing other things. And we get it to a point to kind of set up an appointment, phone call or live or an in-person appointment to expand your referral base and go to centers of influence that see business owners and real estate investors all the time. So that's what they're referring to. So I'm glad to see that worked for you and contributed to your first deal. That's awesome.
It did. And to expand on that, I had known a gentleman through the town that I live in who was doing residential mortgages, Movement Mortgage. And I made contact with him. I shared with him what Jared and I were doing.
Right.
And the first deal I closed was through that.
Wow.
And I literally have 3 or 4 more deals that are going to close this month.
Wow.
Through them. So that big networking aspect of this business,
Huge.
It's huge. And if you're not doing that, I think you're at a loss.
For sure. You're not going to be as successful as you hope to be.
Right. And we're just building on that. We're not even stopping there. We're going to another event in a couple of weeks. It's a Chamber of Commerce, one of the Chamber of Commerce's, and it's like a dinner award show, but we're going to be there and we're going to have a stack of business cards with us.
That's awesome. So, and tell me, Jared, what did it feel like to close both of you? Like, did you guys celebrate when you closed that first one?
We did.
That's your rite of passage, I think.
No question.
It doesn't matter how big or small, but did you guys celebrate a little bit in that?
Yeah, it was exciting just to get the first one under our belt, and we dealt with Lucas over at Prime, and he did a great job. He stuck with us the whole time, and it was because it's a learning curve on our end. I mean, it's a matter of just getting all the information together, getting over to Lucas and working with him, working through it. And it was a good, it was 3 different properties. The guy was cashing out on all 3, and Lucas, he put the package together, did a great job. So he made it that much easier. And then afterwards we went out and had a couple of beverages, so it was all good.
Two
couple of beverages, yeah.
Couple beverages. Did we fund that?
Yeah.
That was through my own finance company.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome.
And my first one was also through Prime.
Okay. Well, thank you for thinking of us, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. So, tell me, your journey, you sound like you got a bunch in the hopper and you guys have closed some stuff and you're starting to get the ball rolling. What's like the most exciting thing 5-6 months into this, would you guys say?
The most exciting thing
about the industry, about now that you kind of have a little bit of, touch of the industry,
that there's a demand for it.
Right.
People need money.
Right.
And, I think one of the biggest nerve-wracking thing for me is my lack of knowledge in this whole thing. Right. So my background was sales.
Right.
And I didn't have a ton of knowledge and industry experience in finance and commercial real estate and things like that. I knew enough, but I don't know nearly enough. But it's not stopping me.
You're learning.
I'm learning, right? And you don't have to know everything. You don't. I mean, let's look at it this way. I consider I have a team of people with 100+ years of experience with you guys, right? If I have a question, I can go to you guys. Or I can go to an RCN. We have a good relationship with Erin Janlott over there. She's great. She's our personal loan. We're doing some deals with her right now on some flips. I don't have to have the knowledge, but I learn through the process. Sure. Each and every deal, I'm learning something, and it's helping me build up confidence for my next deal, and my next deal, and my next deal. You just have to be out there. And I think that's the key. Just be out there, be aggressive and search for deals and ask. You got to ask for the deal.
Would you agree with that, Jared, too?
Oh, no question about it. Yeah. And one of the things that excites me the most about it is I like putting deals together. So I like getting different pieces of the pie and putting them all together and helping people, basically get the money they need to run their business or flip their house or, buy a commercial building, that type of thing. And there's a lot of different parts that got to be put together. So as the conduit to that, I really enjoy that. And like Billy said, there is a big learning curve, but every deal you do, and some you're going to get, some you're not going to get,
And that leads me to a question. That leads me to a question that we get a lot of people asking coming in here, and you guys are kind of fresh. I always say the first year is that stumbling, you win some, you lose some, you're learning, it's that you're kind of gauging what to do and you're developing the business plan. What's been the most frustrating thing in the last?
Well, like you say, you either win or you learn. That's the way it goes, right? Because when you lose a deal, you got to learn from it. And there are some people out there that are kind of, I don't want to say tire kickers, but they're just always constantly looking for different rates. And, if you can beat their rate, they'll go with you. If then they're going to go with somebody else, that type of thing. But I think if you establish the relationship and you get, you can establish yourself as a professional and show them your value, they're going to stick with you for the most part. But it is frustrating a little bit. You get a lot of people that are sometimes little tire kickers. But for the most part.
And what about you, Bill? I mean, what has caused you to lost all your hair in the last 6 months? Because you had a full head of hair. When you attended training, you had a full head of hair, unless you wore a wig. I don't know. But what caused you to pull all your hair out in the last 6 months?
So I recall a couple deals where I got the deal for the customer. I was able to secure funding for them.
Yep.
And it was the old lead the horse to water. You can't make them drink. And they just didn't follow through with it. Yeah. I got them what they wanted, and they just decided to pull the plug and not do it. So
they didn't go with anybody else. They just didn't go with us. That was
right.
It happens.
It happens.
I think that's and you'll develop thick skin and.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that feeling never gets old, but I think you grow through a tolerance to it.
Yeah.
Sure.
I just experienced it on our side, a non-broker deal, a person that we busted our ass to kind of really structure, and they changed their mind,
Yeah, it happens.
It happens. So where do you think the next 5-6 months are going to be for you guys? Like, what's your goal? Have you adjusted your expectations, or have you tell me about that? You guys are in the same office, by the way, correct?
Yeah.
You're on one corner, you're on the other corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your plan for 2022 when you guys sat down and having some deals underneath your belt?
Yeah, well, Billy's concentrating a lot on the commercial real estate end and SBA. Okay. I'm looking to get more into the working capital factoring,
MCA,
MCAs, that type of thing. Just because we want to build a steady income that way as we're doing as we're closing the commercial real estate loans. Also, we're also getting into buying some of our own properties, rentals and things of that nature. So, okay. We've got people that can fund them. So that's what we're doing. So it's just a whole trying to make it into a big conglomerate of what we can do and make as much money as we can going forward.
That's awesome.
But, awesome. It's been great. And like I say, the more we learn, the better off we're going to be. So,
yeah.
And I think we talked that just some quick math that we're each looking to close 5 or 6 deals right now, a month each.
Oh, every month. Yeah. Yep.
I think that's realistic.
Yeah. For 20, I think so too. I think it's the opportunity is going to be there for sure. It's just how hard you guys want to work.
Oh, no question. Right. Yeah. And I think that's a floor for us. I mean, the ceiling is obviously much higher than that, but we're setting ourselves a base limit of, 5 deals each a month. We're getting close to that anyway. And with that, we can make, it's quite a few dollars to be made doing that.
You guys are going to be excited. Prime's coming out. We're entering in a big space this year, which our graduates will be available to our graduates probably in the next 2 months. But the large balanced commercial real estate space we're going to be funding.
Oh, really? Nice.
25, 50, $100 million projects, and we're doing it in a totally different way that when nobody's doing it this way. So
exciting!
Huge opportunity for grads.
Right.
But were you going to say something, Bill?
Oh, I was just going to say I've actually one interest that kind of developed with our product line. I've had some early success with lines of credit too for some clients. I've actually closed a couple deals in lines of credit, and I actually did that through Bennett. Able Funding. Like, he's a huge help with that. Like I literally call him up. He tells me what's needed. I get it for him, and he just grabs the reins.
Yeah, I mean, and those who don't know who Bennett is, I mean, he's a former graduate. I interviewed him, but he's kind of, yeah, he's episode 1, actually our first episode ever. Bennett, though, and some other people have kind of lent themselves as, mentors, if you will. So looks like you guys have taken advantage of that.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
He's a great resource.
For sure.
Yeah.
How's it been on your families?
It's been great.
It's been good?
Yeah. My wife's great with it anyway. My kids are grown and gone, so it doesn't affect them at all. But I've had businesses in the past, so it's, just to say I'm happier, so she's happier. You know what I mean? That's the way it goes.
Happy wife, happy life.
That's right.
And if I remember your story, you guys worked at the same company, right? Then one person came over, and then didn't you both decide to hop in bed together, so to speak, and come here?
Within a week, we both we quit in the same week, basically.
Wow.
Yeah. And not looking back, man.
And here you are in the office. Have you guys thrown any phones at each other yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but we do. We have a great relationship. I mean, we do. Put it there.
I will tell you this. It seems like you guys do, and you guys are great guys. But like, if you haven't thrown a phone at each other yet in the first 12 months, because that's when it gets hectic, then you guys it's smooth sailing from there on in. So that hasn't happened yet.
We're hopeful.
What's one thing that, like, despite talking to me, getting class, even did an episode here when you finished class, what's one thing that you didn't know that you know now? Like maybe you didn't expect, or just something that, looking into this, you didn't realize that may be useful to pass on to somebody looking to come into here? I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you, I think there's actually more of and I thought there'd be a pretty good need for everybody needs money, right? But the need is actually greater than I actually anticipated. I mean, because you look around everybody, and the more we talk to people, the more they have trouble with banks. They'd rather deal with us just because it's less hassle, really.
Sure.
And Billy just had a couple of, he's working in SBA right now. He took over from a woman that was looking at an SBA, and the bank was making it so difficult, and he's going to close it probably next week or so. I mean, Billy, you want to talk?
Yeah, I'm working with Joe D'Imperio on that, and another guy, great resource, Joe over at Wells Fargo.
Yeah, great.
Like I went down and met with the client and her mom. Okay, she's running a dance studio, and she's so sick of paying rent, and she found a property that she wants to buy, and also a tenant in it, and the bank gave her a runaround. Like the way she put it was like, I was close to the closing, and then they just threw curveball after curveball and all these fees. And
was it like a local bank, smaller institution?
It was. I won't name it, but yeah, it was a local bank. And just like you guys had told us from the beginning, like banks just are a lot more strict in what they allow, and they're trying to protect their depositors and stuff like that. And we're not as strict. I mean, we still have our guidelines, but our private lenders and stuff. But it's just a smoother process, you know, and as long as you get what we need, we're going to get the funding for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, the bank was a huge pain in the ass to her. And she was so happy that we were here because I'm going to get that for her without a doubt.
Congratulations. And I want to take you back off something that Jared said, and he said you didn't anticipate the need to be this strong. You thought it'd be strong, but not this strong. What's like when you're talking to people, and obviously you're doing your pitch, which you've probably based it off kind of how we taught you, and you formulated into your own words and such. But what's been the feedback when you talk to people at a chamber of commerce or you talk to centers of influence? Like, how do they respond to you based off your pitch?
Well, they're excited. One of the first things they say is, "Oh yeah, can you do this type of thing? Because I know a guy that's looking for this, or maybe they're looking for a certain, So, like I say, if they don't need it, they know somebody that does need it, and it seems like they want to know us because it gives them. These people all network. The chamber guys and all that. They love the network. So if they can know somebody like us, that gives them a little bit more status with their other people. If they can use us to help somebody. That makes them look better. You know what I mean? It helps them as well. So it's all a bunch of networking, really.
Yeah, it's funny, Kris, because going back to a question before, what are some of your biggest surprises? Thanks for the reminder, Jared. Literally going to meet some real estate people, and they're like, "Oh, I don't have a commercial real estate lender.
Right.
I'm so glad you guys are here. I think I have something for you."
Wow.
Now, I say that because I know that we have competition in the area. All right.
And what area are you guys in again?
We're in Connecticut. So we're in West Hartford, Connecticut.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, there's a lot around us, commercial lenders. We just do a quick search and they're out there.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised that those competition are not out there doing what we're doing and going out and meeting and greeting people, because that's how we're getting business. So I'm meeting a lot of people, almost every single realtor that I talk to. "Oh my gosh, you do commercial lending?" I talk to people all the time and I don't know who to use. I said, well, now you do.
And I'll tell you why that is, in my experience, is because banks are just very complacent. They're used to people coming in their door. You know, they're not aggressively going out and getting business. There's very few that do. There's some that do it well, but a lot of them don't. And here you come along and you're like a breath of fresh air.
Right. But I'm not just talking like banks, Chris. I'm talking about other private lenders, companies, private lenders. They're not out there. I mean, I don't want to, jinx myself, but I mean, right, Jared? I mean, it seems like every realtor we're going out and we're talking to, "Oh my gosh, I need someone. I need someone like you."
Yeah, it's true.
And Connecticut's not a big state,
Right.
Oh,
so that's been a surprise.
interesting. Well, that's good though.
Absolutely.
No question.
That's really, really good. How is it working with our team here, Lucas, and being 5-6 months into it?
Yeah, they're good. Very responsive.
You have any complaints? Because we could, they'll hear it.
Yeah.
Nope.
No. Lucas was great working with me. I know Billy had a good deal go with him too, and I'm looking forward to getting some more.
Sure.
With you guys as well. But yeah, no, it's been pretty smooth.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I think, I want to, for the sake of keeping, getting our viewers to know you a little bit more than they have if they've watched the first episode. Let me ask you guys just a couple of questions. It's kind of routine for these things that I go through all the time. But here's a question. Who do you think's better at this business, Jared or Bill?
Jared.
Yeah, I would say Bill. I don't know.
All right, that's it. That's why you have a good partnership.
So, absolutely. So we have a joke. I'm the brawn, he's the brains. Okay. So
yeah.
But let's make lots of money.
And someday it's the other way around. So who knows?
Jared definitely having his own business, and he just brought a little bit more knowledge of the commercial real estate genre.
And the business sense of it, maybe, right? I mean,
from the business sense, yeah, without a doubt. But I'm just a stubborn Irishman.
Billy hustles. That's it. No, that's why. Yeah, he's good.
I'm out there, man. I'm out there.
And maybe you bring the sales expertise, because that's what you were. That's what you were, right?
Yeah. No, and Billy's great to work with. He's just a hustler. He gets out there and gets it going. He's a good networker too. So it's really good. And
you know what, Bill? I want you to make a statement on here for everybody, because I think you do this well just by knowing your personality but so many of our graduates, I think I said this before, one of the things that they lack are sales. Like they're smart and they may have networks, but they're just not used to that sales, and they give up too quickly. They don't follow up. Talk to me based on your previous sales experience, and obviously you're starting off very successful, which I attribute to probably some of that sales acumen to this business. Tell me some words of advice for people, and a lot of our grads watch these too when they come out for advice. Tell me about how important, sales, follow up, all that's important to close a deal. I mean, talk.
It's crucial.
Yeah.
Okay. It's crucial. I think I have a personal motto, and it's simple. You won't know if you don't go. Okay. So that I use that every day. If I don't go talk to this person, I don't call this person, I don't follow up, I won't know. And I'm used to getting the word no. 24 years plus in the sales industry, I got thick skin, so it doesn't bother me. But I love to talk to people. See, that comes easy to me, and that just helped me secure whatever deals I have so far. You know, follow up. If you're not quick at following up and doing what you need to do to get the deal done, you probably won't be successful in this business.
True.
Because that's what people want. That's why they're hiring you. You got to respond. It's funny. I got a lead from a real estate person, residential real estate person the other day. And she gave me the referral. I called the person. We're trying to work a deal out for them, but they're negotiating with the seller. But anyway, I called her back to let her know I spoke to the person she gave me the phone number of. She goes, Bill, oh my gosh, thank you so much, but you don't have to call me back. I said, yeah, but I just wanted you to know. She goes, oh, I don't get that from anybody. Wow. I said, well, it's what I like to do. I just like to keep you informed. You gave me the lead. It's crucial, Kris. You gotta hustle. You gotta follow up, and you gotta do it in a timely manner. It's what's gonna set you apart from anybody else. Your competition, anything. It's going to set you apart. They're going to remember that.
And even like, you know, with some of the leads, whether it's a lead you got or lead we provide, you know, talk about sometimes when you talk to somebody on the phone and then it sounds good and then you send them docs and then you don't hear from them. Talk to me about that follow-up process, because we find that a lot of grads, and you've heard me complain about this in class. I educate the class. They give up on 2 or 3 tries and then that's it. I mean, you know, business owners are busy running their businesses or they have other things going on. Talk to me about that follow-up process.
So I'll ask the people, because I'll follow up a lot. It'll get to the point where I'm like, well, why does this person not call me back? I'll simply say to them, listen, do you want me following up like this? Do you want me to call you? Because I don't want to be a pain in the butt.
Right. Okay.
But I really want to help you out. So if you don't mind, I'll call you. I'll call you next week if I don't hear from you. Is that all right? You just got to ask. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you agree, Jared?
Oh, no question. Yeah. And I think most people, like you say, they're busy with their day to day. And if you don't put an emphasis on it, sometimes they're going to put it on the back burner, you know, and you would hope that since they're looking for money, it would be at the front end of what they're looking at. But, you know, everybody gets little fires they got to put out during the day and they put things on hold. And I think if you're the guy following up and you're there when they need you, then you're the one they're going to use. So.
All right.
Follow up is crucial. Yeah. That's
good advice. That's good advice. Jared, I have a question for you just to get to know you better. I mean, if what's one thing about your life that people don't really realize about you?
I don't know. I think I am actually, I'm a little uncomfortable when people give me gifts and things like that. I get embarrassed by that kind of simply. I mean, awards are one thing because I feel like I earned those, but like when somebody just gives you something, I don't know. I just feel like it just like I don't deserve it almost. You know what I mean?
So Bill, are you just giving him shit every week or every month?
I look at it the other way. I don't have to give him anything.
Exactly. Except for a headache.
That's great.
I save a little money.
I mean, he can pick up a bar tab once in a while, be a little better, but you know.
I'll ask the same question to you, Bill. What's one thing that people don't realize?
So it's the fact that I was once a personal bodyguard for John Denver.
That's right.
Does anybody know who John Denver is? I'd probably just aged myself, Kris.
Yeah, no, you were a personal bodyguard. Well, listen, I say your life's a success because you weren't on that plane.
I was going to say, unfortunately, John Denver, he's dead.
So
I don't know why. I mean, it was unfortunate. He had a plane crash.
It was ultra light or something like that. Yeah.
Thank God you weren't on that day.
Without a doubt. So here's the thing. Truth be told, it was just for one day.
Well, thank God it wasn't that day. But
yeah. Right. No, he was. I was friends with in college. I had a job and it was security at New Haven Coliseum down in New Haven, Connecticut.
Yeah.
So John Denver was in town one day, and I was good friends with the guy who owned the security business.
Sure.
And he's like, "Listen, can you do me a favor and just like be his bodyguard today?" And I'm like, "No problem." Like there weren't people like trying to get at John Denver, but it was interesting. And I'll tell you what a nice guy that guy was.
I mean, you weren't one of those guys. Thank God it wasn't like Kiss where You were like one of those guys that went and got the girls to like bring them to,
No.
how like those rock stars have those people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
you were actually doing bodyguard work.
I was doing some bodyguard work. Yeah. And
That's awesome.
no, I wasn't. I wasn't a talent scout for most of those bands. No, I wasn't.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. I'll ask both of you this question. If Jared, you want to take the lead first, but if
Sure.
you could sit down and pick 2 hours of somebody's brain, past or present, dead or alive, who would it be in human history?
Yeah, I very honestly, I'm a big fan of this. Ernest Hemingway. I love that guy. I think he had such a adventurous life. I read a lot of his stuff. Just constantly going from one adventure to the next, and I just would love to sit down and talk with him, have a few beverages, and get to know him.
For sure. What about you, Bill?
Donald J. Trump.
Okay.
Nice.
I'd love to sit down with Donald and talk to him. I have a lot of questions for him.
Or I'm sure you could do that if you join Mar-a-Lago down there. I'm sure.
Probably. Yeah. I can't afford that yet.
Yeah.
Next year.
Well, the last question I'll ask you all, because I know you got a lot of things to do, but it's kind of flipped the script. So is there anything you want to ask me that you haven't already asked? Personal, business, could be anything.
Yeah. So I'll ask, you've built this vast empire of all these different businesses, Kris. So you are considered a success. But when you were first starting out, did you ever have doubts? Did you ever question yourself? Did you say, I don't know if I could do this kind of thing, or what?
I didn't. Well, I think it's natural to have doubts. Anybody that says they didn't have doubts are bullshitting you. I mean, it's a natural thought that comes in your mind. But for me, I think what mitigated that getting to me to affect my ability to perform is knowing I didn't have a plan B. I really didn't have it because I didn't graduate college, So I never I don't believe in plan Bs. I believe you're either all in or you're not. You know what I mean? And I think that's what. So did I have doubts? Sure. There was frustrating times, and there was times where, in the early days where you're counting on a deal to close, and that's going to pay for things that are due and things in your business and life, and a deal doesn't close. It falls apart, and it's natural. And so then you have some doubts, but always in my head, I'm like, I don't have a fallback. I don't have a plan B. I don't have a job. So somehow, some way, I got to make it work. And I think that's what kept those thoughts at bay, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Anything for you, Jared?
Yeah. What, if anything, in the early years starting out, did you come up against where you thought, this is not working, I got to change it, I got to kind of move on to, like you say, you didn't have a plan B, but if you were going down a certain road thinking you're doing it the right way, and you said, maybe I got to change and take a different tact?
Yes, that happened. That happened at various stages of various businesses that I have here. But, one that comes to mind is when I first became a direct lender in 2006. You think you have a blueprint, and then, everything's set up, which I'm fast forwarding a lot of stuff, meaning it's a lot easier said than done. But once I got to that point, and you start lending money, and it's different from a broker, right? Because you've got to live with your decisions, especially if the loan defaults. I had to change. I had to change kind of the way I approached the business, because I thought I had an approach, and I did that approach, and then some things started defaulting.
Yeah,
it forced me to say, well, let me learn why this happened and how to adjust our underwriting model and policy so this doesn't happen. One of the early things that started to happen was I was in the red with underwriting costs and legal fees because I wasn't charging enough I wasn't passing that through to the borrower. And that was a rookie 101 mistake. But all of a sudden, I remember, first couple of closings, my firm got a legal bill, and you did the calculations, and I was in the red because, I didn't anticipate for being at that high, and that just comes with experience. So then, I had to readjust and say, okay, we got to put a policy in where, we have to pass through a majority, if not all, the costs to the borrower. I'm talking about environmentals, appraisals, and all those good things, Sure. So, that's like one aspect of just one of the companies, but it's happened in companies, sure, where you're going down a path and you got to got to readjust and recalibrate.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you guys doing in-person training sessions now, or is it still online or a hybrid?
In person.
In
Yeah,
person.
we're doing it's a hybrid. It's a hybrid.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I mean, God, next week we'll have 20 people in this room.
Wow.
So and plus we'll have a bunch of people online, but it's a hybrid. It's a hybrid system. So was it hybrid when you guys came, or just online?
It was strictly online. We were like right in the height of COVID.
So what month did you attend?
May 2021. May.
Yeah.
Oh wait, so in June we went live. I mean, when I say live,
Right. Yeah, because we met Sonny. Sonny was in the live class in June or July or something like that.
Yes. Yep. So yeah, so we now it's it's kind of half and half. Half the people are here, half the people are online.
Right.
Well, guys, it sounds like I wish you continued success in what you're doing. Congratulations on closing a couple of deals, and it's exciting. I mean, I'm excited for you. You guys are in your own office. I mean, Bill, how does it feel not to go to work and work for somebody else? Both of you. I don't know.
Kris, it feels so good. I mean, one of the first things we said when we started rolling with this and we knew we could do it, the fact that we were both sleeping better. I mean, that's a good sign right there.
Sure.
So how does it feel, Kris? It feels great. It really does. We're both in charge of our own destiny, and that's scary at the same time. But again, like you said, we don't have a plan B. Like, I got to make this work.
Right.
I'm married and I have 4 kids, and none of them have reached college yet. So you see where I'm going with that, right?
Sure.
I cannot fail. Okay.
Cannot.
And I think Jared feels the same way.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, there's no plan B. This is the thing I'm going to do the rest of my life, and we made a commitment to do it. And I got a great partner, and we're just hitting it hard. We're going to make it work.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed, Kris, but we're not spring chickens, okay?
Yeah, I'm losing my hair. I'm getting I'm contagious, I think. I don't know.
I wear on you, pal.
Well, yeah. I mean, spring chickens, but in this business, I mean, we have some grads that are 80 years old and they're kicking. I mean, yeah, that's the benefit. That's the thing. You're not digging ditches, right?
Right.
On roots, as I say.
Right.
Good. It sounds like you guys are having fun. And again, I really appreciate you taking your time out of your busy day.
Oh, no trouble.
Getting on the podcast here with us. I think it's valuable. I think a lot of people will get value out of this. Encouragement, if anything.
Yeah. Thank you.
Matter of fact, we may want to get back up there, maybe take a couple of days of classes up in Albany live just to kind of get a refresher.
And you're welcome anytime. You know that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You know that for sure. All right. Well, everybody, that wraps it up for this episode. Hopefully you found this enjoyable. And again, if you want to see the first episode of these guys, they're somewhere back in May of 2021. But hopefully you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go to Commercial Capital Training Group, type it in YouTube, and subscribe to our channel. You can see more of these that come out every month. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it. And we'll catch everybody back on the next one. Thank you.
Thanks, Kris.
Thanks, Kris.
Thank you. There are just too many commercial loan brokers that don't have a damn clue of what they're doing. All we're trying to do here is better the industry for everybody. At the end of the day, you can make great money in this industry, but in the end, it's all about helping people. People always say, Kris, how can I be a successful broker? It's 2 words, hard work and dedication. If you don't like talking to people, you probably shouldn't be in this business.